Students, in today's lecture, we want to discuss Ruskin Bond's contribution to Indian English literature. Ruskin Bond, an Indian writer, has earned popularity as a great short story writer, as a worshipper of nature, as a poet, and as a novelist in India. Ruskin Bond was born in 1934 and he has written hundreds of stories, novels, and three collections of poems and over 30 books on children. And that's why, Ruskin Bond has been acclaimed as a writer, as a great influential writer in the field of children literature. He received Sahitya Academy Award for his book Our Trees Still Grow at Dehra in 1992. Moreover, Government of India has awarded him Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. So all these awards suggest that he has contributed immensely to Indian English literature. Now Bond's contribution to Indian short story that we want to discuss first. Okay, see, Bond is one of the major contributors to the cultivation and development of short story in India. No doubt, short stories were written by Raja Rao, Khushwant Singh, R.K. Narayan, and so many others in India, but this genre kept a low profile till the first half of the 20th century. It was in the hands of Bond, who played an important role, a vital role in taking the Indian English short story to a significant position. Along with R.K. Narayan, Mulkraj Anand, Rajarao, and so many others, his name has been remembered as one of the most important storyteller of India. P.K. Singh has rightly said that Bond's contribution to the growth of the short story is that he brings it to a variety. He uses elements of nostalgia and authentic life. So the real life you see in his story, the nostalgia, the flashback technique makes him an important short story writer. Bond is a pioneer of children literature. In fact, he has written literature for all ages, but particularly some of his collections of stories are mainly aimed at children. Ruskin Bond is the pioneer of children writing in India. Came close to children's literature since Ruskin Bond himself liked his own childhood. Okay, and that's why he becomes autobiographical or sometimes semi autobiographical while writing about children. He says that I don't suppose I would have written so much about childhood or even about other children if my own childhood had been all happiness and light. If you read the biography of Ruskin Bond, we come to know that he passed his childhood in sad days. He likes children because they are more frank. There is an element of innocence among the children, and that is what makes him write the children literature. According to Ruskin Bond, two children can become good friends merely by exchanging some pieces of marble, some coins, some dolls, or some bangles. So there is no hypocrisy among the children, and that is what he has presented, the innocence of the children in his most of his children's story. The Hidden Pool, Children's Companion, Children's Omnibus, Grandfather's Private Zoo, The Night Train at Deoli, and other stories. These are some of the important collections of his short stories, which are mainly meant for the children. Moreover, Ruskin Bond has been remembered for the infusion of element of nature in his all literature, whether he is writing poetry, novels, or short stories. Everywhere you find Ruskin Bond as a great lover, as a great worshipper of nature. He has penned most of his works for the preservation and protection of nature. In his passionate love for nature, many critics compare Ruskin Bond with William Wordsworth, but there is a difference. In case of William Wordsworth, there is an element of mysticism which make him a slight difficult poet, but in case of Ruskin Bond, you find the simplicity, simple, clear, vital love for nature. He laments for the loss of nature in today's times of urbanization. In one of his poems, he writes, I wonder where the birds have flown. They have gone to find another home. So he laments, he speaks about how we are going away from nature in the times of urbanization. Moreover, he is also a man of irony, a writer of irony. Irony is a literary device which has been successfully used by Ruskin Bond in all his stories. His employment of humor is impressive. Why? Because his humor is innocent humor. It does not harm anyone. Okay, and that's why the humor which comes out from his irony, is a universal humor which makes everyone happy. He uses irony as a weapon to be used in a mild manner, okay, and that's why he is not offensive. Like Jane Austen's irony, it is gentle and gives his language both subtlety and precision. In very few words, he presents lot many things. His ironical remarks on life are both witty and touching. Moreover, you also find autobiographical elements in all his literatures. As I told you, he had to see sad childhood days in his own personal life, and he himself said that his sad childhood memory made him understand the children better and brought him closer to the children, closer to nature. His stories and novels present the picture of his childhood consisting of bitter and sweet experiences together. Bond explains the predominance of the personal element in his works. He says that I prepare to write about the people and places which I have known and the lives of those people whose paths I have crossed. So he writes about only those people, only those places with which he is familiar. Okay, and that's why you find the autobiographical elements in his literature. Moreover, the last important thing that we should remember is that cinematic representation of Bond's work. Bond is so popular a writer of India that many of his works have been adapted into movies and TV serials. Say for example, in 1978, the eminent director Shyam Benegal adopted A Flight of Pigeons and made a movie Junoon, which was starring Shashi Kapoor, Sabana Azmi, Nasiruddin Shah, and so many others. Another example is another director, Vishal Bhardwaj, also adapted one of his earlier works, The Blue Umbrella, and made a film with the same name. Okay, this film also won the National Film Award. His first novel, Room on the Roof, was adapted for a TV serial on Doordarshan, which the title of that serial was Ek Tha Rusty. Later, in 2011, Vishal Bhardwaj again adapted Susan's Seven Husbands and made Saat Khoon Maaf. Okay, this film also became so popular, it was having Priyanka Chopra as the main character. So, all in all, we can say that Ruskin Bond is indeed a great writer, a great lover, a worshipper of nature and children. His stories, his all writings, novels, stories, and poems are full of humor and irony, and autobiographical elements and simplicity of language make him such a popular writer of India.